is so this time Dunning-Kruger Knights versus Gosu Casuals on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Picked by Gosu Casuals, first pick by Dunning-Kruger Knights. I believe I've casted them before, so it should be fun. And so, like I've said before on the previous game, if you were still here, is so this is a map where push becomes a big deal. It's almost obviously you still need a team fight because there's always going to be a lot of team fight. There is a 80-second delay, so good luck on any type of. That's fine. Yeah, so Sylvanas is a lot of times is a high priority pick on this map just because of the power that she can give to any type of web weaver push. If you do get the web weavers able to push with her, she can shut down a lot more tiles, able to get their whole team in there more aggressively. And Gosu Casuals decides to ban Ragnaros. Solid choice to ban. If we saw last game, Ragnaros got some ridiculous Molten Core plays and pretty much won. I mean, they were winning before that, but that's like secured the deal. And getting rid of of Ragnaros is always a decent ban. Malfurion as the first pick, one of the top healers, along with Lucio and probably Rhaegar, I guess, but definitely the top healer right now. He's an enabler. He's a good healer. He's got silence. He's got a little bit of everything. But he is not able to paired up with his normal buddy of ETC. A lot of times we do see the ETC Malfurion pair, but not able to this time. And let's see if they're going to be looking to pick their healer here. They might get one of their main wave clears, one of their important people with the ETC, maybe Azul. So ETC does not provide any wave clear in the early game. So you have to pick up that wave clear somewhere else. You might be looking to get the Zul here or one of your main damage dealers, and they do go with the Li Ming. The Li Ming provides fantastic poke, trying to stop the other team from turning in. Plus, let alone already does a bunch of damage. I mean, so now Dunning-Kruger might be looking to pick up their tank here and one of their damage dealers. That would be like a very standard draft, is to pick your tank, your healer, and a damage dealer in the first round. Leaves your other two picks open for whatever you want. You can pick your solo laner, you can pick your other damage dealer, you can pick your up the sleeve hero like a Chromie or something of the sorts. Actually, I think Chromie is actually pretty sick on this map because the lanes are so close together. Chromie can almost sit pretty much right in the middle of the two lanes and hit everything on both teams. So I'd be very interested to see if they pick that. I'm expecting something like there's the Zul, that major wave clear, especially since seeing only a Li Ming on the other side, that he's not really scared of anybody yet. And the Vala. So opting not to get their tank, they're not worried about getting banned out of a tank that they might want. Maybe the Joanna gets banned here to give them some of the wave clear. But I mean, Zul by himself is enough wave clear. They do ban Joanna. So that does limit other peelers. So the thing with Zul is that he has to be in there. Like, he has to be in there to get that wave clear, and does put him in a risky position, especially with an ETC slide, which is so easy to not pick off, but at least to engage onto somebody. And once Zul tries to go into wave clear and then ETC slides into it with any type of follow-up from his team, Zul has to be in the front of the line of the wave. So he's not even letting minions soak up his lane. So it does put him very vulnerable. Gosu Casuals picking up the Arthas, the Frost Lord himself, and the Rhaegar as their healer. So as I mentioned at the very beginning, pretty much Malfurion, Lucio, Rhaegar are your top healers. It's mainly Malfurion and Lucio as your S tier, give or take, and Rhaegar behind. A lot of times people don't like the Lucio because they don't think he provides enough, but I beg to differ that if you have a very good Lucio, he provides a lot. And I think that's the difference. I think a lot of times the Lucio still getting figured out in his playstyle, of his where his value comes from. But see the Rhaegar, so there's some wave clear with the Totem and Lightning Shield. Arthas will most likely be their solo laner, which is decent. I mean, right now they can pretty much only solo lane with a They have Alarak, they have Thrall, they have Sonya. They still have to pick their tanks. So they're going to be heavy front line with the Vala back line, which is perfectly fine. My dog is laying around on her back, stretching. It's very cute.
I hear the call.
Wow, I was not expecting this. The Anubarak Nazebo. Mika, what are you doing? But, yeah, so the Anubarak Nazebo. I mean, Anubarak, I guess, was trying to go into the Li Ming, but she's so silly. But the Anubarak was probably going into the Li Ming. But I mean, there is another frontliner with Azul, so that does help somewhat. But I feel like Anubarak will get kind of blown up by the Arthas and ETC, honestly. Beetles do become quite annoying, but that's 3 front lines from the other team. That's kind of scary. If he dives in, he can get turned down pretty easily. Arthas does do a lot of damage, although his Frostmourne Hungers is spell, so that is a lot of Arthas's burst, and Dampen Magic will stop that. So I guess maybe he's not. Maybe he's pretty safe actually. The Nazebo, on the other hand, I mean, he's just looking for that late game damage. He's definitely some of the sustained damage, and once he gets to level 20, it becomes very scary. And Gosu looking to pick up another auto attacker, picking up a auto attacker, trying to counter the Anubarak. They're basically just going to go full counter melee to stop the Anubarak, knowing that there's not too much peel. Anubarak only has peel by diving into the other team in disruption. Like, his peel is disruption. But if there's no backline to dive into, then the whole front line of Gosu can just dive into the Vala, the Zul, and the Nazebo. But I mean, Zul does kind of stop Thrall from doing a lot of his damage, slows down his Wind Fury by a lot with some lockdown. Like, if they were to get a Zul route, point-and-click route, followed up by Nazebo Zombie Wall, followed up by Malfurion Roots with a Anubarak CC, that's a lot of CC on one person, even on a tank. And if once you get the late game, if Nazebo goes to bring up poison, that's a lot of damage. Like, a lot of damage, guys. I could actually be pretty fearful for that. The early game, I don't know. I think the early game might still go to Dunning-Kruger. We'll probably see Nazebo in the bot lane, Zul rotating between the two, and then Thrall in the bot lane versus Nazebo, which Thrall will eventually win. I don't know. I think the late game power of Dunning-Kruger is going to win it for him. I think Nazebo going to thanks Hero for the hosting. I don't know who Loomer is. I guess I'll find out once I get to the actual team. Yeah, I agree with Cassidy. I think the Mott pick does favor for Dunning-Kruger. The Zul with the Nazebo. I mean, we'll have to see if Gosu... I think Gosu, that since they do have the less wave gear by a lot, I think Gosu's going to have to go for kills. Like, they have to. I think they're going to have to almost do a 1-1-3 with... Or rather, a 1-1-1 with 2 people rotating. Essentially, I would imagine I would see the Arthas and the Li Ming rotating. Or the Arthas... Sorry, the Li Ming and the ETC rotating. Man, somebody's having some load times. I think we might have gotten a disconnect right at the beginning. Feels bad. Was it me? Is it me, guys? I think it might be me. I don't hear the game music anymore. I think I crashed. I like it better when I do the hosting. But I think I crashed. Guys, I actually have... no, bar moved. So somebody else. Hey, Hero. Actually, I didn't even mention, so far, Portrait Synergy for Dunning-Kruger Knights. That's a big deal. Ooh, it looks like Smoked Salmon might have been the DC. Because everybody else is loaded into the game. We're getting there, guys. We're getting there. He's getting there ever so slowly. There we go. Finally. All right. Best of one game, Division 3, Dunning-Kruger Knights on the left. We got Apple Eater on the Zool, Hotaru on the Malfurion, Shvek on the Nazeebo, Ralph Stew on the Nubarek, and Goku Buri on the Vala. On the right side, Gosu Casuals, the Loomer, I guess that's who you're talking about, on ETC, the Anarchist on the, on the Leeming, Jesus C on the Arthas, and Smoked Salmon on the Rhaegar, Rogue JT on the Thrall. So, right off the bat, we're seeing Thrall on the bot lane, which is pretty typical. We got a little bit of delay from the Ragnaros. So, like I was saying earlier, the Zool is going to have so much more push potential for Dunning-Kruger. And they actually almost wanted to keep those beetles there. If the beetles hit the minions right here, they could have stopped the wave. They're actually going to start off right off the bat, knowing that Gosu Casual has a little bit more kill potential. They're actually going to go ahead and clear the top lane. And since it's clear so quick, they're not really going to lose any soak for it. And able to rotate down enough time. But with all that, look how many tower shots lost on that. That's a lot of tower shots. They're all taking some damage from the Nazeebo. With that wolf hit, it's going to do some damage to... Almost barely ran out of range of that Nazeebo wall. That would have been a lot of damage. And we're seeing this rotation. So the fact that they're rotating to kill top first, and with such a strong rotation, with such a strong wave clear, that they're able to do so much more tower shots. But likewise, tower shots are going down in the mid lane, but not nearly as fast. Those towers are already done. And this is what we're going to see. Thrall is pretty much always going to bully Nazeebo out in the early game. If Nazeebo consistently keeps hitting these spiders, then she's going to be fine eventually. But the constant lightning damage poke. So now the towers are starting to take damage. They're still missing 1 or 2 minions here before they're able to rotate. I would like to see the Anubarak just kind of sit here. They don't really, like, they don't need all 4. You're seeing this 4-man rotation here with everybody together. Like, they're not being threatened at all. So they can almost do a 1-1-3 and just have Zul rotate completely. Be safe. So nothing's happening top lane. They're being pretty boring. So we're just going to watch this 1v1 for a little bit. Looking at the talents, all pretty typical talents. Power Hungry from the Li Ming. I like it. Looking for that burst damage. Shando's Clarity. Not really sure about the Shando's Clarity here because there's not too many people that depend on mana. Nazeebo gets his mana back just from the minions. So, I mean, granted, he also didn't mean Moonburn, so maybe the wall's already down. Look, this, I mean, the Zebo, the power of, sorry, not Zebo, the power of Zool on this, the double specialist on an all push map. Already killing the towers. They don't even need web weavers. And they still have a 4-man rotation here, so they're just not able to get up there fast enough. And the minions plus the extra Zul minions are able just to do so much damage. Already getting the first floor wall. They could. This is the time, and if anybody's saw me from the last game, is that when you come to about the 15, 3 lanes or 4 or 5 lanes through, and you see this thrall here with 15 coins, leave. I would really like to see Dunning-Kruger Knights leave Zul to the rotation. Just let Zul rotate. Clear this mid wave on this next mid wave, and everybody run down to kill this Thrall. If they're able to get this Thrall, that's going to be such a big win. I would really like to see both Avala and Nubarak run down to the Thrall and just leave Zul rotate. Ooh, but it looks like Thrall is going for a little greedy, trying to get them off here, and that might have been too much of a bait. Ah, that feels. I mean, I would really like to see the next rotation. They need to rotate down to kill this Thrall. It's such an easy kill, honestly. He's playing so far forward. Because now Thrall, as long as Nazeebo can stop this Thrall from turning in, like he senses he's not in lane anymore, knows he's up here. Oh, he gets it in! Oh, that's such a big deal. Now that means with Thrall getting that turn in, they basically only have to worry about this rotation. And pretty much at that point, anybody can just sneak down to the bottom because nobody's going bottom. Anybody can sneak to the bottom and get that turn in. Man, they're going to take this fort without a web weaver. That's a big deal. Since they're not fighting here, not able to interrupt that Malfurion does put him in a little bit of a greedy position, but it's not a big deal. Like, they're not able to deal with this Zul. They just don't have enough wave clear. Nazeebo's the only one that needs to turn in now for Dunning-Kruger. but I think Thrall's going to be able to poke it enough. Just a little bit of nothing going on here, just a lot of poking. Ooh, they're all taking a lot of damage from this Nazebo. Holy cow. And they're going to see, this is what I'm talking about. So like now that there's only one person that needs to be turning in for, they don't need the Nazebo to turn in, or they don't need the Thrall to turn in. They, Gosu gamers can constantly just rotate somebody around. We see a root, and this looks like for this. Nope. Cleanse is able to get him out of there. They trade down in the bottom lane. I completely missed it. The poison damage there. That's a lot of coins missing. But it's a bigger loss for Dunning-Kruger because they had all their coins. But it doesn't matter. Zul was able to get the top lane, and that's a big win. I think Gosu casuals really need to get that. Really needed to get that first turn in to be able to save this top fort. But this top fort dies before Wave Weavers can spawn, and that hurts. So, I mean, he should be able just to walk away from this, because there's not enough really lockdown. ETC already used his slide. He's just gonna, especially with the new Brag. No big deal. Yeah, Bloodlust. I want kills, man. Nothing's been going on so far. These two kill each other, and Thrall's gonna die to the Web Weavers plus the Vala. Prog Rock almost finishing up for the ETC. We're seeing Thing of the Deep, plus pretty much the normal zombie build for Nazebo. And with the top fort gone, they don't even need to be, like, they're just free to push for days. I mean, they have so much map presence. They just hit level 10. Let's see if they pick the ultimates fast enough. We have typical Reign of Vengeance. We should see a full engage here. Even though they're down one member with the Vala being bottom. The Rhaegar just dying. New Brack hitting in there with the Locust Swarm. And the Rhaegar dead. That poison damage from Zul is going to force everybody from Gosu casuals to back off. And that's all 3 forts down for... I don't know, man. That's a lot. It's going to be really tough for Gosu casuals to come back. They're really going to have to struggle to hit the level 10 and get their ultimates before they can re-engage into these lanes. Man, you guys must all know Gosu casuals. You guys are just ripping on them all the time. But only need 3 gems left. They're just going to try to sneak in one of these lanes, and Dunning-Kruger is just going to be playing goal keep for the rest of the game, pretty much. Zul did not get the self-sustained talents, so he pretty much went to get Jailers. Newbright going through engage. They're still level 10 on them. They have Vala with the Reign of Vengeance, and she's being super greedy. Able to pick off the Rhaegar. Does die herself. Big silence hitting 2 members. But they're just going to turn around. I mean, their healer's dead. Any damage they do is going to be consistent sustained damage. But Li Ming gets the turn in, so that's going to give them their map presence back only slightly. If you notice how far out these lanes are pushed, especially with the Zul, especially with the Nazebo, these lanes are so far pushed out that the Web Weavers are going to spawn way back in their own lanes. And with the amount of wave clear that Dunning-Kruger has, that I don't think it's even going to matter. They're probably going to just let this Web Weaver die on its own in the top lane. Finally hit level 10 for Gosu casuals. We got Bloodlust. We got the Earthquake, Bloodlust, that auto attack Thrall and auto attack Arthas build, and Wave of Force from the Li Ming. Interesting. With the amount of, I mean, there's a lot of squishy targets for him. I would expect the, especially with everybody's gonna be slowed, I would really have expected the beam from Li Ming. Everybody's trying to fight. ETC getting hit by the zombie wall, but taking so much damage from that as well. But he's able to back away. Zul hitting almost everybody with that poison damage. The follow-up with the Thrall able to interrupt that mosh pit, and look at the damage. The Rhaegar died way in the backline just from the Zul poison. Zul and the Zebo poison. And like I said, those Web Weavers only able to get the bottom wall. I mean, it gave them something. It gave them 10. They were able to. Tried to push it into a fight, and it's something they had to do. But they needed to use all their ultimates. We didn't see Earthquake. We saw no ultimates during that team fight, and they all kind of just died on their own. Thrall, Arthur's the only one to use his ultimate, and he was able to walk away.
My altar awaits the gems. Bring them. Bring me their power.
So another turn in available for
Well done.
Dunning-Kruger, and they immediately get it as soon as those Web Weavers die. And now with the Web Weavers spawning completely on red team's side, it's going to give them so much ability to push. Arthur's probably going to stay up here, look to clear that wave. Clear that Web Weaver before they engage. As long as they don't lose a keep here, probably want to fight with your fort. Earthquake comes out, it's hitting everybody, but not too much follow-up from the rest of the team. Everybody's taking so much damage so far. Big mosh pit hitting 3 members, no interrupts for it, and that might be the team fight they wanted. Here comes the Twilight Dream. But that Web Weaver damage, Web Weaver MVP, hitting like pretty much everybody with his wave, whatever you want to call that. It looked like Gosu was going to turn that team fight with that mosh pit. But by the time that mosh pit ended with the Twilight Dream coming out, and they just melted. And with that team fight, that's going to be a keep for Dunning-Kruger. Level 15 to 12, a little bit of level they are going to hit 16 before Gosu hits 13, and that feels real bad. They just have complete control of this map. Zul is just pushing into the fort. He does not care in the world. And he has no reason to. I mean, nobody showed up yet. So, and that's going to be the top keep as well. They're able to save the bottom keep, but now with level 16 taken, still no level 13 for our Gosu gamers, they can re-engage any type of kills, which is basically going to secure them a boss as soon as this road is over. If they get any more kills, they might just go core here. Picking up the Rhaegar Thralls soon to follow. And the Volish is going to town, and I think with those 2-3 kills, they're just going to go core. They still have the Gargantuan hitting, soaking the tower shots. They're calling GG early. And 15 seconds left. Now with the Li Ming dying, that Vala just vaulted in there for that last bit of burst damage. And another quick game on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Congratulations to Dunning-Kruger. You guys controlled the map like crazy. I don't know. I mean, like, they drafted for the map. They get into Zul without being punished by him. Was Jaina banned that game? I think she was. And I think they actually wanted Jaina, honestly. I mean, they wouldn't have known that early because I think she was the first ban. But Zul was just able to do whatever they wanted. I like Dunning-Kruger's idea to clear top lane first. And that way, knowing that they're going to have the extra minions from Zul minions, they're going to have so much more wave clear. They can still run to the bottom and wave clear before their towers take too much shots. But, I mean, there was just no wave clear for Gosu casuals. Just pretty much none. And that you could really feel it because it took them so long to clear a wave that they weren't able to rotate fast enough. So that's just one of the, it's one of those things that you really want to pay attention to, that you might draft a comp for what you believe to be strong team composition, team synergy, but you still have to take a part into the map. And you still have to take that into consideration because it does play a huge role on how the game's going to go. And you could really see that from the draft in that game. I would still like to see, even though Dunning-Kruger was in that lead for the pretty much most of the game, I still would have liked to see them getting that gank on Thrall. They had plenty of opportunity to, and that would have secured their position even better. But either way, it ended up being the win for them. So congratulations to Dunning-Kruger. I'm sure I'll see you guys in the coming weeks, hoping to always cast more. With that, that's going to be it for tonight. I'm going to go watch the snowfall outside, and that'll be it for me. The VODs should be up in a bit. I also upload them immediately to my YouTube. YouTube strictly only for Chair League games. I don't do anything else with it, so don't be looking out for some crazy games. And yeah, so see you guys tomorrow. I got one game tomorrow, and I think I got at least one game a night. I got late to the